Up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey.
Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control.
What is going on, Hive? Happy Friday. Let me make sure that I got my audio coming in loud and clear. Oh, yeah. Well, I hope everybody has a fun, relaxing weekend planned ahead of them. Just to get a couple of housekeeping things out of the way, tomorrow morning for the Saturday live streams, whenever I'm out of town, I will pre-record a video and premiere it and be in the chat. I did that last Saturday, and it went really well. So what I'm going to have for you all tomorrow, I'm not even joking you. I was up till 2 in the morning last night, and I had texted Robin, who's obviously one of our mods, and she does our Instagram and Facebook pages. And I said, I'm exhausted. I got to go to bed. I don't know the last time I've been asleep before 1. And then I found the 4chan archives of the Idaho 4. And I'm like, well, let's just see if I see anything I haven't seen before. I have like 15 slides of screenshots that I've never seen. That, or if I have, I don't remember seeing them. They are wild. And then I started going back to I started screenshotting stuff from the dates where it started to turn, and some of the posts from people that are like, there's no way this dude did it. And it's wild to me that it all lines up with everything that we are saying today. And so tune in tomorrow. I will be in the chat at 10 a.m. Central to premiere that video, and cut me a little bit of slack on the videos. I obviously love to live stream. So if I come off a little bit awkward recording, or if I mess up and you hear me maybe crash out and say I should restart the video, I'm not going to. I'm just going to treat it like it's live. So there's a disclaimer, if that's worth anything. But let me say what's going on to the Hive this morning. We got Gamble, Good Trouble. Mrs. Birdie's out on an 8-mile run. Shout out to her. She signed me up for a half marathon, and I have I've got some training to do, to say the least. Crown, gang, what's up? Ryan Anderson, how are you doing? Dino in the hizzy on this Friday morning for Shizzy. Love the UK. How are you doing, Ellen? Carrie, good to see you. Savvy Rooster. No talkie before coffee. I hope everybody has their coffee and is relaxing this morning. Code says morning birthday. UK Hive, Verity's tuning in. 4chan is similar to Reddit. It's just much more, it's crazier in my opinion. Like Reddit would be like PG-13 and 4chan is R in my, that's how I would describe it. Hulk smash. Good morning, Dina. We got a lot of people tuning in overseas. Jay's in Copenhagen. Good to see you. Bex Tats, how are you doing? Gabba Dabba Doo. Discord Dawn, what's going on? Shout out to the Discord Queen and my mod Dawn. Stacy, good to see you. Coffee with Berdino. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that super sticker so much. You rock. The Salted Blondie. Hey, Hive. Happy Friday. Yes, thank you, Luna. Shout out to one of my other mods. Hit that like button. Just swipe down on the chat. Press the thumbs up and press the subscribe button if you are not. Like almost 68% of people that tune in are not subscribed. So please do that. All of the streams are free, and that subscription, just pressing it, is also free. It really helps the channel visibility. So I would appreciate that. Steph's in Southern Louisiana. Meg P's here. Happiness is in Meridian, Idaho. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. April in Texas. Maria's in Pennsylvania. Susan's in the UK. What's going on, Brandon? Linnea, good to see you. It's 3 a.m. in New Zealand. Yes, Kathy, I am just starting. I've been doing these Friday coffee with Birdie, if you want to call it. Today's more like brunch with Birdie. But then again, there's so many people tuning in from not just in the central time zone that it might be a nightcap for some people. All right, Hive. Well, here's a quick disclaimer, and then we're going to get into it. If this is your first time, welcome to the Hive. This is a contrarian thinking live stream where we are not afraid to think past the headlines, call out the mainstream media, and allow ourselves to think out loud when we detect bullshit. So if you're easily offended or rattled on behalf of others, this is probably not going to be the stream for you. However, I would encourage you to tune in and see if there's a little bit of things that might ring true for your own thoughts. Now, if you are the quote conspiracy theorist in your friend group, which is just such an outdated, overused term that they just want to slap a label on you so that they can act like they won an argument, like conspiracy theorists. Oh, I win. Such a juvenile way of thinking about it. But if you're that conspiracy theorist in your friend group who's always trying to wake your friends up, you have found your people, and welcome to the Hive. Now, I'm going to oh shoot, it reset. Hang on one second, Hive. All right, Hive. I got another, instead of doing a Discord question of the day, here's what we are going to do. I've been having a lot of fun coming up with things like the Hive Sync, the Hive Mind Trigger, and oh, I forgot to mention, we have a sponsor for the stream. Dylan was kind enough to ship 8-hour snooze to everybody where you're not just going to get rest, you're going to be able to hibernate through murder. And there's free shipping right now. So if you use the discount code Birdie, Dylan will go ahead and send you whatever it is that she had taken to sleep through a quadruple homicide that evening. And there's free shipping while supplies last. So I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Dylan. I'm sure you can afford free shipping because of your GoFundMe. I digress. I almost blew right by that one. It's one of the most important slides in the whole stream. We're sponsored now. I low-key forgot that I even put this slide second when I was making these, but clearly that is that's satire. That is not true. We got jokes here. See, that's what I'm saying. If you're easily offended or rattled, you're probably at this point just scoffing. You're just like, this guy's a dick. That's probably what just went through your head if you're rattled and offended on behalf of others. But let's call a spade a spade. That's hilarious. All right. So we've had the Hive Mind trigger. We've had the Hive sync. Now we are going to do what I'm calling hijacked headlines. And I have Gabby Petito's van trip, Tupac's alive in Cuba, a drunk uncle at a wedding, or a Walmart Black Friday brawl. And I want the most creative, funniest, truthful satire, whatever you guys want headlines. We are going to spin the wheel to figure out which one we're going to do. Gabby Petito's van trip. Let's see what headlines the Hive can come up with for those. And I will start putting them up on the screen. So we are doing Gabby Petito's van trip. If anybody's got a creative one. I feel like some of these at some point could be funny. No headlines come in. A YouTuber founder. That is true. Luna says it's too early to be creative. Some trips are to die for. Jeez. See. Jesus, UFO dog. Peekaboo, you know who. Ms. Birdie says mama's boy takes life of promising young woman. Yeah, that was a good one, Miss Birdie. Life in the mangroves. Gabby was a psyop, false flag. Fan life. Dirty laundry. Laundry fakes death and goes on the run with Koberger. Trip of a lifetime. Oh, Gabby's last ride. Gabby takes wings. Gabby Girl says this case makes my head spin since it's my name. Gabby Petito Gabby Petito, geez, hits the road. Van life, not how it's meant to go. The unwanted van trip. Blind cops hand her laundry out to dry. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Not a NPC. That's funny. Parents are not allowed to attend. The hijacked headlines might have to be one that we don't do right away on a Friday morning. That might have to be like a live dig one when people are feeling a little bit more rowdy. But in general, I'm going to continue to do these things. Like I said, keep you all on your toes. Bextat says, why girls should avoid Brian's. That's funny. Yeah, that was one of my first like deep dives that I did. And actually, if you guys have ever heard of the creator Grace on TikTok, she spells her name kind of like how I do with the space in between the letters. Kind of swag jacked around that. But she's super cool. She reached out. She's like, I think this is what happened. Do you care if I post this? That's awesome. Avoid Brian's. Brian strikes again. Well, anyways, Hive. All right. Well, here's what I want to get into. And that is, we have all had enough in general. That's one of the things that's a common theme on this live is we've had enough with the lies, with the cover-ups, enough of the, trust the process for the greater good bullshit that's spoon-fed to us. While the truth is rotting in sealed files and fake narratives. We just got to call it how we see it. That is what is happening. The interesting thing that I've thought about, and I've really changed my approach to the way that I'm trying to think about the Idaho 4. And if you watch the stream with Lana, she was saying, she was saying, I don't think about Brian. I have no opinion of Brian. Has your opinion on Brian changed? We were going over a Reddit survey, and I said that's kind of a full circle moment that Koberger is eviscerated for posting a Reddit survey for school. And now people are polling him on survey. But I bring that up because while, yes, that is true, Brian, your opinion on Brian, it can be, and this is not to Lana. Let me just clarify. I'm just saying this is what got me thinking about it. When you look at Brian, the way I've started to look at it is Brian's been the vehicle for a lot of people waking up. It's sad. It's terrible. If Brian was framed, if Brian's a Fed, if he's a killer, it's still sad. We obviously know he's not. But the point that I'm getting at is the real crime is the news, is the way that it's reported, is the law enforcement, is the court system, is the justice system. And I've really started to try and frame this case in that light. Because if we don't call out that part and people don't learn about what goes into setting somebody up, what goes into getting forced into a plea deal, what goes into a wrongful conviction, and rather we just wait to watch the Netflix documentary after the fact, after somebody suffered in prison for decades for a crime they didn't commit. Oh, yeah, they're going to get paid out. Shit. There's not a single amount of money that you could pay me for spending 27 years of my life behind bars wrongfully convicted. I won't make it. I don't think I would. I don't care if there's 16 million, 60 million. I don't care. I wouldn't do it. I'm not sitting that long in prison. That would be miserable. There's no money that could make me sit in prison for that long, especially knowing that I went through the trial. My name was dragged through the mud. My family and friends might question if I'm trustworthy, the character. Who knows all of that shit? It's torture. You couldn't pay me enough to go through that. And rather than everybody just nodding along and clapping after the fact, when you see a documentary that makes you feel good about, wow, look at how crazy this investigation is. Wow, now you call out the corruption. And the people that you're watching in the documentary that were corrupt as hell, that's like 20-something years ago. They're retired. They moved on. Probably not going to face any criminal charges because it's just whatever. Yeah, they got it right now. And I don't like that. They have pushed the public past the breaking point is what I'm getting at. Every time that we have been told to shut up and trust the investigation, it's terrible. Don't say that. Respect the investigation. Respect the victim's family. Respect the privacy. Respect this. It's like, okay. Respecting the victim's privacy is not showing up at their house and banging on their door and all of the mainstream news that probably sits out in their driveway with spotlights. That's not respecting privacy. when somebody on the internet or social media of some sort sees corruption and wants to spread the word about it, says, hey guys, A, here's what the news says. B, here's what the cops actually did. And now C, I'm here to tell you what I believe is wrong about it. That is in no way, shape, or form not respecting the victim's privacy, as long as you're not releasing their personal information, their phone number, their address, anything that is not in the public sentiment. No, not respecting the privacy is what these mainstream idiots do. And they call us out for it. And yes, not an NPC. You're right. There's nothing private. We live in America. We live in America. Like, I don't believe there's one private conversation ever. Shadow Ghost, what's going on, man? Yo, Birdie, I'm a fairly new subscriber. I like your content. I'm baffled how people can think one man can unalive 4 healthy adults without leaving boatloads of evidence. Yeah. The Jason Bourne timeline, as we refer to it, Shadow Ghost, it's just it really is unbelievable. And I don't know how much you followed this case, but thank you for tuning in. It's always nice to see some new faces in here and people that are waking up to it. And I try to keep that in mind when I see comments that, you know, you could tell that maybe someone's coming around to it. So in the chat as well, not that I'm worried about this chat. I feel like we have a very respectful, critical thinking chat, and we're able to maybe see familiar names that you know are either trolling or they're just trying to trigger people, whatever it is. But, you know, keep an eye out too for people that have genuine questions that are probably just asking and they don't know. So that's obviously going to grow the Hive, and I appreciate you all being willing to do that for any questions that I miss. But what I'm trying to get at is, for me personally, this case, it's like my last fucking straw. Having to listen to Ashley Banfield, Nancy Disgrace, all of these social media content creators that are being paid to push that same mainstream. You know, in a way, the mainstream media not jumping ship on this, and instead of them changing their course and probably contracting a social media agency to continue to push their narrative through these creators with giant followings, it reinforces their point. It's smart. Does that make sense? That could be what they deem a chess move. Well, hang on. Instead of us having to come out and say that we're wrong, why don't we go look up these creators who have followings, you know, into the same types of numbers that we have here on our news station? And what if we got our PR company to pay them, and they don't sway from their narrative either? All their followers are going to start to believe them. I got to just relax a little bit because that drives me nuts. Social media is a great tool, but when it's corrupted like that, it drives me up a wall, and it's obvious when you see it. If you are thinking that, like, let's role play this out. Brian Koberger gets killed in prison, and it comes out he's innocent. Brian Koberger gets exonerated. 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now, 20 years from now, it doesn't matter. I just hope that these people that had those intentions of wanting it to be him, I don't think anybody in here didn't want it to be Brian. Do you guys know the difference that I'm talking about? There's a lot of people in here that thought he was guilty at first. There's a lot of people in here that said, no way, I knew it right when I saw him. He didn't do it. But they want it to be him. And I don't know if that's some sort of, like, in their mind, Brian is the symbol of everything they hate. They don't like creepy guys. They don't like men. They don't like, you know, loners. They don't like people that are smart. They don't like students. Who knows what it is? But there's people that they just seem to want it to be him because it represents something in their own life they don't like. We want the truth. Precisely, Tooth Sleuth. Exactly, Sherlock. We all want the right person. Mr. Smixon, it's been emotional manipulation. I've said this a bunch of times, but, you know, the Dateline documentary starting out with, so why do you think Brian chose him? Because they were beautiful. Give me a break. Right? Facts. Who here from, okay, this is meant to be a serious question, but it's going to sound funny, and it's not meant to be funny. If you were killed, and let's say your roommate had nothing to do with it, and they really did wait 8 hours to call 911, is there anybody that would not be rolling in their grave? And then especially if you in your mind would have been like, damn, maybe my roommate had some shit to do with it. They were into drugs and they hung out with a sketchy crowd, and I kind of got looped in with the wrong crowd. And damn, I just found out now that I'm dead. They waited 8 hours. Yeah, I'm turning in my grave. Yeah. Backstat says I would haunt them. Luna said haunting them. Exactly. For real. People made. Yeah, it's a shit Fred. It's honestly, you see them laying there. I mean, and where did that go? Kung Fu Donkey. We are literally taught from kindergarten how to call 911. There are 911 operator or like 911 calls that have been released where kids are calling and doing whatever version that they're capable of doing of some sort of CPR life-saving technique to keep blood flowing to the brain or oxygen flowing throughout the blood. Ridiculous 911 operator on that phone call. Not real. I'm convinced it's a fake call. I don't know how they did it, though. I don't know how they did it. That's where my brain wanders to a lot, and I spend a lot of time thinking, how did they manipulate that 911 call? Where are all of the background voices that sounds like Steve G saying, shit, and they were shot? Where is all of that? Now, I know Outkast had sunk up the beginning of the body cam footage and the end of the 911 call, but where is all of that? Come on, let's go. We got to go check. We got to do this. They're all like, wait, I don't get it. The 911 call does not seem to match up at all with the scene when the cops show up. Do you guys know what I'm saying with that? I don't know what they did. I've thought about that, Teresa. I think there's some sort of AI software that's probably being used. But if you guys remember when I slowed down the voice, the 911 operator voice went from sounding like an oddly toned and pitched female voice to sounding kind of like a man. Do you guys remember that? It was weird. It sounded it sounded natural. It sounded very natural. They're overlaying the audio. Yeah. The scene is too clean. That's also, hey, you know what, M. Hawkins, that's a good point too. You know, no manipulation. That's called. They had 8 hours to get it together. Dylan is a poor actor. She can't remember her lines. Yeah, see, and that's another part too. It's like you would think that we would know everything going on. Everything's so secretive in this. I don't like that. If you're going to have a public case and you're going to put it on the world news, don't hide this shit from us and then gaslight us that we're conspiracy theorists. It drives me bananas. So, all right, let's get into the Hive Mind finds. This one comes from Uncle Daddy Brother. He's been on a roll. I thought this was interesting for a couple of reasons, but he had submitted this on the Discord. Me and Auntie, Mama, and Sister, or me, Auntie, Mama, and Sister are going over the PSYOP angle. If it is a PSYOP, would it be to find out how much we trust the mainstream media versus social media? This case illustrates a very specific set of circumstances. No evidence, highly emotional, crazy eyes. That's funny. That should be I should put that on a thumbnail. Uncle Daddy Brother, I might steal that. No police interrogation footage of anyone. No jailhouse interviews in person or by phone. Multiple potential perps, frats, JD, sorority, and AK, MPD, or AN, AK, MPD. This guy's, those guys, her, them, she did it. No, they did it. Any attempt to make sense of this case is met with reductions, gag orders, labeled a conspiracy theory, intentionally changing stories of witnesses, misdirection, to having the FBI show up at your door, constant suppression at every level, but only to the public. Meanwhile, mainstream media ran buck wild from day one, Howard Bloom, up until the end, Amazon and James Patterson, 2.5 years of mind control while all we could do is speculate. We believe wholeheartedly that there has to be something to this. Maybe to trust the MSM for the next lockdown. Thank you for reading this. All our best to the Hive and you, Birdie. Well, thank you for that, Uncle Daddy Brother. I do believe that the PSYOP angle has never been more clear. And let me clarify. A PSYOP doesn't mean that people didn't die. And I'll say false flag and PSYOP, while they're not the exact same, consider them synonymous with what I just said. It could be a false flag and it could be a PSYOP, and there could be real death. There could be real tragedy. I believe the PSYOP in this case is that the narrative was weaponized. Don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you hear. Don't think. Let us think for you. And let's convict this man to life and shoot him to death and convict him by the story that we tell you, not the evidence. There needs to be a story now to convict you rather than evidence. And that is dangerous, folks. That is about as dangerous as it can get. And it just goes, it goes right back to the fact that the Idaho 4 is more than just a night in Moscow, Idaho. And that's what I want people to try to wrap their mind around. It's about a system that is manipulating us. It misdirects us. It silences us. They're at whatever lengths they will go to and use the media machine that protects all of the people that are doing this cover up instead of exposing it. The mainstream media is functioning exactly how it was meant to in this case. And until we have a collective realization of that, and we can pull the curtain back, and the public's not asleep, and the public is awake to the narrative, we'll never be calling the shots. Because, and I'm fucking ready to rock the mainstream media at this point. I'm sorry for the F-bomb. I know it's early for some people, but it's like, I just can't believe it. You know, my Brian Laundrie still being alive. That video, there was an article written about it. I forget the name of it. It was like a country music magazine that it got in. Just not destroyed me, but it was me and like two other things about Brian Laundrie alive. And of course, the title is like, online conspiracy theorists say Brian Laundrie might still be alive. And I just think about it. I'm like, I wonder how many views that article gets because it's under the umbrella of one of the big three. And it's funny that the mainstream media gets to determine what is a conspiracy, what is a cover-up, and they will support you when you support your narrative. But you could support all their narratives and then you can go against it, and then you're the enemy. But you want to know what that does, Hive? Look at Ashley Banfield. Look at how dumb she looks. And I don't care if that is rude. She is not thinking. So it's the women professors. Yes. That is just so eerie. Not the men, though. It's like, Ashley, you're being so obvious of what you're trying to do. Like, if it was genuine, nobody would have a problem with it, but it's not genuine. It's not genuine at all. And Nancy Disgrace, Keith, all these guys, and all these big time people, rather, it's just obvious when they've been genuine their whole career, and then there's like that one moment where you're like, yeah, you're either being paid or forced to say it this way, because it's just not how you typically sound talking about anything else that's true. Yeah, there are no journalists in mainstream media anymore, unfortunately. I believe that there are independent journalists that probably get a big break and it gets featured in mainstream media, but I have not seen one primetime reporter. Can anybody name a primetime mainstream journalist? And I'm talking about the like your channels that every TV gets for cable type shit. I don't know who I would say, at least surrounding this case. Yeah. Gutfeld. Brian Enton is being a legit reporter. Here's what I think about that. If at not one point in your reporting you haven't addressed a rumor of drugs and looked into it, or looked into gang involvement or suspect family history of cooperating with law enforcement, you know what I'm saying? It's like they'll never mention where they actually want you to look. They'll just avoid it and then discredit that. That's a dead giveaway every time. So thank you, Uncle Daddy Brother, for that submission to the Hive Mind Finds. Those you will submit those to the Discord. The link is in my YouTube channel. Now, this next one, Extraterrestrial Highway, this person's newer, and I have a couple videos lined up because I want to see if we can see this. But they said, "Hi everyone, I'm new here, so hope I'm commenting in the right place." Well, you were. I just wanted to say, about a year ago, someone told me there was an identifying marker on the front of BK's car, and that's how they know it was his car. This sent me on a search, and I came to the conclusion that he had the bug reflector on his car. You can see it for just a second when he's pulled over for being stopped in the intersection and running the red light. What's odd is it appears as if it's higher up on the hood than the one pictured in the newly released crime scene photos. Also wanted to mention that there were photos released by Dateline showing a photo he took of his car on November 1st, and it wasn't on there. It also wasn't on there after he switched plates from Pennsylvania to Washington, because he took photos of the front of his car then too. So it's kind of interesting, and I'm wondering if he replaced it or why he would have taken it off and then put it back on later. It's a great question. If anybody can find those pictures outside of this one, meaning Brian Koberger taking a photo of his car and then taking the photo of his car after he switched the plates, if you guys could throw those in the Discord, that would be great. I tried to search. I had no luck. So I have three different body cam or three different stops of Brian Koberger. I wanted to quick go through these and see if we can see them. Oops, let me get this pulled up.
Of Brian. It's never before seen police body cam video of Brian Koberger, the monster who killed 4 college roommates. He'd just been pulled over for
You guys got
speeding.
sound?
Do you realize this is 35?
It's 35?
It is, yeah. So you go,
41.
yeah, 43 is what the radar said.
The deputy notices
8 miles an hour over the limit too. I don't see it right here, unless I could screen grab this and maybe try to lighten it up. So I'll post that in here quick. I just want to see if we can see it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it was on there the whole time or no? I don't know. At least in this, you could see the headlight pretty clearly. It does get maybe a little bit darker here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I can't tell though. We'll keep looking.
Koberger isn't wearing his seatbelt.
Were you wearing your seatbelt when I stopped you?
Of course, they put this damn writing right here too.
No. That's no good.
Just being honest with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You guys are. There's absolutely no point in not being honest.
The deputy tells Koberger he's getting a $10 seatbelt citation. Then Koberger makes a shocking remark.
I'm obviously an honest person. I told you I wasn't wearing my seatbelt.
3 months later, Koberger butchered the.
See, I know why that guy would say that. I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously an honest person, officer. Please don't give me the inconvenience of a $10 ticket. I just told you I wasn't doing it. That's pleading with him. And obviously, yes, wear your seatbelt. But I'm not trying to even just only go out of my way and defend Koberger. It's just, you have to combat that. Like, oh, he said he's an honest person. He's a murderer. No. Oh, he lost weight. He's a murderer. He tried to get a girl's phone number. He was going to murder her. It's a joke, dude. It's a joke.
4 University of Idaho students. Koberger is driving a white Hyundai Elantra, the same car he drove the night of the murders, which was key to tracking him down. Prosecutors plan to play the traffic stop video at Koberger's murder trial, but...
All right, let's go to the next video.
Hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? How y'all doing today? Good, good. Take a look at your driver's license real quick if I could. See, he's right up on that van, man. He was right up on the back end of that van. Pulled you over for tailgating. Is this your car? Okay, cool. Where are you headed?
Well, we're coming from WSU, and we're
What's WSU?
I go to the university, basically. Basically, I'm an undercover Fed. I go to the university, basically. I'm undercover right now, and I don't know if you know that I'm undercover. That's why I keep looking at you very weird. And
that is SWAT team and everything.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington State University,
Yeah.
and you're going where? Oh,
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're slightly clutching because we're driving for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours we're driving. Well, almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing? Or
Yeah,
something?
there was a mass shooting and everything.
Where? Interesting.
Well, it's horrifying because he's supposed to be university, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So y'all work at the university there?
I actually do work there.
Oh,
PhD.
it's like he keeps looking at his dad, too, to be like, Dad, make sure you don't tell them I'm undercover. You know what I mean? Like, watch that. I guess I'm kind of maybe picking up on things that I'm viewing in a different light now.
interesting.
Well, it's horrifying because he's supposed to be university, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So y'all work at the university there?
I actually do work there.
Oh,
PhD criminal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that incident just yesterday, or?
This happened about an hour and a half ago. We're still wrapping it up for investigating. I'm not sure there's two shooters because they did shoot somebody.
Let's see.
And then
You don't know about that actually. You
Well-
were there with out of the window or something.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So do me a favor, don't follow too close, okay? All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Well, didn't see the bug shield on that one, that's for sure. This is the one that Extraterrestrial Highway said they saw it on.
Hello, I am Officer Loangus. Stops being audio and video recorded. I think you know why I stopped you. You ran the red light.
What actually happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
So
I was
forced
behind
to
you
turn
the whole
left.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, you're not supposed to enter the intersection at all for that.
I just want to address this too, Tessa. Would he tell his dad he's undercover though, Birdie? See, I don't know on that. I don't know if it's different, if it's a full ass undercover, like, hey, you're not just buying drugs and then ratting on the dealers while you're at Washington U. And it's like, no, hey, gear up. This assignment that I got, we're all going to be plastered on the news. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be Brian that would tell him. I don't know if that's some sort of operation where they go find his entire family and get them to agree. Who knows? And then they go into WITSEC. That doesn't even sound that crazy. It really doesn't. At least to me, it doesn't. I think that's very capable. I think that it's been done way more than we'd probably expect.
Reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection, and then you run the red light. So that's the reason I stopped you. Do you have your license on you?
Yep.
In the beginning of this video? Oh, shit, right here.
For the intersection at all for that reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection, and then you run the red light. So that's the reason I stopped you. Do you have your license on you?
Yep.
Do you have the registration and insurance?
Let me just get this for you out.
You what?
I'm just gonna get this out for you.
Okay.
So would you?
Yeah, you know what, Jeff? You bring up a good point. If that is her, and I'm assuming you're referring to like the assistant that he worked with. I mean, it is a weird place to continue to have a phone call unless you're maybe about to get into the car. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can hear her staying and chatting near the body cam speaker where it's picking it up, which gives a little bit of credibility maybe to the Korean that's written on the board. I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm fully convinced that it's Korean and that they had heard about this crime and they were maybe trying to solve it or just talking about it. Yeah, this is shoot, I can't see it. This says October 14th, 2022. Yeah.
Explain that to me a little bit further. So in Pennsylvania, when you're stuck in the intersection, you have to make the left. So what would the appropriate thing for me to have done? Just
You're
back up in
not
that
supposed to
situation?
block an intersection like that in Washington. So just by you blocking the intersection, that's technically a ticketable violation.
Oh, is that really?
And then
Come
thus,
on.
then you're running a red light. So it's another ticketable offense. So you're not supposed to proceed into the intersection until you can go. Because a lot of people do what you just did, right? Is like you're sitting in the intersection waiting and then turns and then you're blocking. So
yeah, there was a little bit of confusion with speeding because someone had stopped. I wasn't sure.
I want to see
what
if
they
I
were
can
doing, and
see
then
this.
They put on their light.
So I'm going to
turn.
go and
So I
go
thought
back
that
to when the
maybe they were
cop
letting
walks
me go
back up
through.
and skip through all
Did you
this.
see that?
So I found it. So I don't know what in Pennsylvania where you go to find laws, but in Washington it's called the Revised
Oh,
Code of
come on. Keep
Washington.
moving over there.
So I'll try to turn my brightness up, but it's basically it's just called an RCW. So it's RCW 46.61.202. So it's no driver shall enter an intersection unless there is significant space on the other side of the intersection. To accommodate the vehicle, he
I'm not
is
seeing the
operating without
bug shield,
obstructing the
guys.
passage of other vehicles. And
Then there are
Gotcha.
crosswalks.
like I only know it because this is what I.
I'm not seeing the bug shield. Are you guys? All right, moving on. Okay. So these are now a couple of the things that I found going through the 4chan boards and posts in the archives. So I have a couple of things that I just wanted to, again, collectively chat about. This is from Mrs. Chapin here. Now I'm going to read this. It says, we've spent the last 8 weeks, besides the obvious, focused on Maisie and Hunter. Cards, talks, walks, hikes, tears, you name it. Yesterday, we successfully dropped them off back at the University of Idaho. Hunter was very glad to be back at the fraternity, and Maisie was warming up to the idea, but it was so good to hear all of the girls squeal with delight upon seeing her. It did his mama's heart good to hear it. The support from the University of Idaho and the MDP ISP has been profound. Maisie and Hunter are rock stars, and we couldn't be more proud of them. Their job now is just be kids. Start where they left off. Keep goals and aspirations in mind. For an update, anything we or Ethan had is now frozen with the defense. For us, it involves 2 vehicles, E's belongings, and a nice set of golf clubs. We've met with prosecutors, handled media inquiries, hopefully respectfully, managed, grieved, talked, and continue to try and process our new normal. However, nothing has changed. We spend no time being angry. That would be energy not well spent, and it still wouldn't change the outcome. We have to look ahead. What we've confirmed, Ethan is who he was because of our family. His foundation was unwavering. He was so loved and didn't know any different. He was profoundly supported, and our family of 5 was different than others and so very special. He loved unconditionally. He was loyal to all. He was inclusive, carefree, happy, just the best person you could ever meet. The stories are endless and amazing. He touched lives we had no idea existed. Ethan was incredible. We did a great job. We will still do a great job. And as always, we are eternally grateful to so many of you. We can't possibly reply to all your notes, but we read them all. We read them all, and your kindness and support means the world to us, and I shall allow the memories to prod me into doing better with all those still living. Nicholas P. Wolterstoff, Jim and Stacy. Now, here's what I find odd. There is no mention of the roommates or Xana. You're sending Maisie and Hunter back to the same campus where Ethan was killed just weeks later. There's a focus on the belongings, 2 vehicles, and a golf club set. So what's the second vehicle, Hive? Was another one of the family's car in that driveway? This has been out there since the beginning that Explorer was Ethan's brother's car. Exactly. It's been out there since this post, and I don't know if anybody caught it. It was in the driveway the entire time. I don't know how as far as I know, I don't know if anybody questioned that part of it. And now we know it was his. The one that arrived at 4:30. Exactly. Apparently longer, Wopat. So if the Jeep was broken down and they all had to share the Explorer, then how did the Explorer get into the driveway? Was Ethan driving it? The other thing is there's an odd like shifting tone from tragedy to cheerleading. Look, these are my opinions. I've been around tragedy, unfortunately, as probably many of us have. I can promise you I've never heard any Facebook posts. I've seen lots of them. I've never heard any posts like this. There's an odd emphasis on PR and managing media inquiries. Why? Like this, but this is also weird. We've handled media inquiries, hopefully respectfully. Why even put that in there? But she's going to CrimeCon. There's a lot of talk about those golf club sets. I'll tell you that much. That was a rumor since the beginning. You think what was a jab at Steve G, Holly? If I missed the first part of the comment. That's right, Jesse. Dude, okay, hang on. So now who would be driving that Explorer then at that time? That's crazy. But if Hunter's saying that he didn't party with his brother that weekend, that's also very true. Okay. Now, this is interesting. And I put this on here because I had not ever, or it's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen this article or if I did hear about it. But this might be the first nice thing that a mainstream publication, being Yahoo News, put out that somebody had actually said about Brian Koberger. And I have all these sheep that are just congregating together. How can we spin this to make it sound creepy? And we have Brian Koberger. Yahoo News wrote this. Days after the Idaho killings, Brian Koberger made it to a routine medical appointment. Staff at the office recalled he was especially charming at a time when the students were canceling. Koberger accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students. 4 days after 4 University of Idaho students were brutally killed, college students there and at nearby Washington State University were so scared of the killer on the loose that they stayed inside, canceled appointments, and even left town. Brian Koberger, though, not only made it to his routine medical appointment in Pullman, Washington, but beguiled the staff there. A receptionist at the office told Insider on November 17th, Koberger arrived at his appointment in a black North Face jacket and was so friendly with staff members that they took notice. The receptionist at the office, who declined to give her name because discussing the interaction might violate medical privacy laws, said Koberger's behavior prompted her boss to comment. She said, "He's so nice and charming." She never says that about anybody, the receptionist told Insider. I was like, yeah, he really was. He scheduled an ordinary follow-up appointment for the spring semester. Prosecutors, begilded. Thank you. Beguiled? I'm sorry, Hive. If I can't pronounce it, I'm just guessing. Prosecutors say Koberger, a 28-year-old studying for his doctorate in criminology at WSU, stabbed the 21-year-old Maddie Kaylee Ethan and Xana at their off-campus housing after a manhunt dragged on for over a month. Yada, yada, yada. He was extradited to Idaho. Okay. Read the original article on Insider. Let's see if that one's any different. He was so nice and charming. I hate Business Insider for how rough their website jumps around. So I thought that was interesting. And now this is also an interesting article written by Vicky Ward. I don't know if anybody's seen this. This has kind of been making its way around some YouTube channels. And it's that last summer, Brian Koberger's father said his son was innocent. And I will go ahead and get this opened up. I will let this play.
One of the first thoughts, hey everyone. So one of the first thoughts I had when I learned about Brian Koberger's astonishing sudden guilty plea was that only last summer in the Idaho 4, we report that his father, Michael, told a family friend that his son was innocent and that what happened in that house in November 2022 had been drugs related and that Brian would be exonerated at trial. He also made some strange claims about he believed the government was watching his house. You can read that excerpt in a sneak preview in my newsletter today. The Idaho 4 is now, sadly, likely to be the only definitive account of Brian Koberger's psychology, given that despite the best efforts of the Gonzalez family, he's not likely to be made to explain what he did in the courtroom. Stand by for more.
So then the article goes on to say, last summer, Michael Koberger, Brian's father, declared to a friend that his son Brian was innocent. He had not committed 4 murders and that a trial would clear his name. I guess things changed. As we learned yesterday, at the 11th hour before a trial, which was delayed and delayed, Brian is pleading guilty. It's a decision that has shocked everyone, including the victims' families. There were signs this was coming if you knew where to look. A couple weeks ago, someone on Brian Koberger's defense team phoned Connie Saba, the mother of Brian's one and only childhood friend, Jeremy Saba, who died tragically of an overdose in 2021. Go figure. This person asked Connie what she remembered of Brian's behavior and mental health because he said it's almost like they've completely constructed and manufactured an entire identity, and Brian Koberger might not even be a real person. There is no childhood photos of him. There's one yearbook photo. There's one police academy photo. There's nothing. There's like 4 photos ever of this guy. Don't you think that people would be all over the place leaking the photos? Look at any other mass shooter. You see shit back from their childhood, their grade school, their sports, families, friends, cousins, uncles, holidays, everything. Brian Koberger, not a damn photo. It's like he doesn't exist. And God forbid his one and only friend is also now deceased. This person asked Connie what she remembered of Brian's behavior and mental health because he said they were looking for ways for him to avoid the death penalty. Obviously, the lawyers have now found a different way to achieve that objective with a guilty plea. Connie told him what she told me about Koberger for the Idaho 4. He was strange. He was strange, silent young man and in awe of her popular athletic son. Both of them had learning disabilities. Both of them turned to drugs. Nearly 2 years ago, she and I spent the day driving around the utterly bleak neighborhood in the Poconos that Brian grew up in. It's a bedroom community where there's nothing for teenagers to do. No movie theater, no restaurants, not even a bowling alley. Connie, who was a teacher, showed me the bike trail and other places where she believed Jeremy and Brian would buy their drugs from dealers. She showed me the house next to hers where Brian grew up. I saw the path he'd come through the trees to spend time with Jeremy. Connie told me that when Jeremy went over to the Kobergers, he was never allowed inside, which she thought was odd. She also showed me the garage door, which Brian had broken into their house in August 2016, the day after Jeremy was arrested for the first time for DUI and drug possession. Brian, by then a user himself, had phoned Connie to say he was so sorry to hear about Jeremy's arrest. He asked her solicitous, God damn it, I can't say it, when she'd been visiting Jeremy in jail because he said he'd like to go visit him too. So Connie had given him the time and then wondered why he didn't show up at the jail until, that is, she got home and discovered someone had broken in during her absence and stolen her iPad. She knew at once who the culprit was. A year or so later, she was standing in her kitchen and turned around, and there was Brian. She hadn't heard him come in. He'd come to apologize. Connie understood why. He was in rehab for heroin addiction. Atonement is a critical step. She never heard from Brian after Jeremy died, but she wondered if he was the person who'd phoned her cell. Heavy breathing. He had always been a strange child. His mother, Marion, had told her he had Asperger's. A year ago, Connie ran into Michael Koberger, Brian's father. Here's an excerpt from the Idaho 4 about their conversation. As Connie Saba is shopping in the Rite Aid in Broadheadsville, she sees someone in the pain relief aisle who looks familiar. She stops. Is it someone she used to work with? And then she realizes it's Michael Koberger, Brian's dad. Connie, he says, is that you? How are you, Michael? She replies. He seems very pleased to talk to someone. My heart goes out to Marion, Connie says. How is she? Michael tells her that his wife doesn't talk to anyone, even on the phone. We lead a very quiet life, he says. We don't go out. And even when they are home, he says they don't feel safe. People, he tells her, are watching our house. What people? Government people, he says, leaving her slightly confused. How is that confusing? How is that confusing? The FBI is watching the parents' house where the guy who committed these murders was driving to after them, allegedly. Then he says, you know, Brian didn't do it, right, Connie? Connie thinks. She says, the Brian I know wouldn't do it. Huh. She wants to be supportive. It's then that Michael seems to remember that he hasn't spoken to her since Jeremy died. We were both shocked to hear Jeremy died. He tells her, Marion wanted to call you but felt unable to. He doesn't explain why. Does Brian know Jeremy died? Brian was away, Michael says. He doesn't share where. We didn't tell him for months. But yes, he knows. Brian wasn't the same after the drugs he added. He wasn't the same person. Connie nods. She thinks even on drugs, Jeremy had remained sweet and good-natured, but Brian was framed, Michael says. Connie is startled. Framed? Someone planted the knife sheath, he tells her. The police didn't find it when they first went in. There were a lot of drugs in that house, a lot of people around, but they only looked at Brian. You know how he likes to drive around when he's nervous? Connie doesn't, but Michael tells her he always used to get in the car and drive at night when he needed to think or he had some fog. He had to get away and just think, or when he couldn't sleep, he would just drive around. Michael adds, things will come out in the trial. Everyone will see, or not. If you wanted to really understand who Brian Koberger was and why he committed these evil acts, you'll need to read our book. It's not so much a whodunit as to a what. And see, it's not a whodunit. It's just a narrative book, essentially. And I have that book back there. Thank you to Discord Dawn for sending me that. I need to make that series. I need to make that series of pointing shit out in that book. Hive, can you guys please hold me accountable to getting that series done soon? I can do like the top 10 things that are just wildly inaccurate about that book. And God forbid we say, oh, there's a lot of numerology and occult type shit in this case, or maybe it was a ritual, or maybe it's WITSEC, maybe it's low-level confidential informants working with the fraternities. Maybe it's corrupt cops, but let's go read all the bullshit in James Patterson's book that he made millions on with Vicky Ward. Give me a break. Oh, it drives me bananas. I'm writing that down now. I've been keeping these like little post-it notes next to me on stream, so when I think of something, I can actually remember it. James Patterson book series. Oh, man. Okay. Now, I want to give a shout out to Outcast. I had not heard this until last night. He posted this on TikTok. Maybe he posted it on YouTube. I'm not sure. Shout out to the UFO dog for these sheep, the Timu task force that's investigating this, because if you've ever seen the movie Bird Box, where I think it's Sandra Bullock has the blindfold on and you're just, it's like the meme of ignoring all red flags. That is what seems to be happening right here. So here's the audio of this. Shout out to Outcast again for doing this. This is Jack Showalter calling the police or involving himself right into the middle of it.
It's Sergeant Hathaway.
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Hey, how we doing?
My name is. I want to make like a statement about, the night of Saturday.
Okay, what's going on?
I'm just friends with Maddie. I was with her at the bar that night. And I forget who, I don't know the person we left with, but we left to get grub truck at like 2, and we were there from like 2 to probably latest 2:30. And then she and the other lady got picked up in a silver sedan. That's my only.
Isn't it weird? It sounds like he doesn't know Kaylee, her and the other lady.
Description I know. And then they went home from there. And I just wanted to let you guys know as far as like I knew about her whereabouts. I don't know if that helps with anything, but
I mean, yeah, anything helps. You said you were with them?
I was with Maddie at the corner club, and then they wanted to leave with Maddie and her friend. I don't recall who her friend was. Yeah, I was intoxicated, but then we went to Grub Truck, and then we got picked up from Grub Truck.
Okay.
And that's as far as I knew about her whereabouts that night.
Okay. Well,
yeah, she just got in a silver sedan.
But you don't know who it was or anything?
No, I didn't see who the driver was.
And you said your name was...
Yes, sir.
How do you spell your last name? And give me a middle initial?
Yes, sir.
Date of birth? What's that current address for you?
Yeah, I'm right down the road at...
You said...
Yes, sir.
Is that where you're at now?
No, I drove home this morning.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Boise.
Oh, Boise.
Yeah, I was just talking to my parents, and I didn't know if I would be helpful or not, and my dad was like, yeah, anything can maybe help, so...
What's a good phone number for you?
Yes, sir,
It's Outcast video.
And what's the address that you're at now?
It's...
Can somebody find the number of that report so we can efficiently look it up after this? Because now I would be so curious, because could you imagine? I don't think it is, but that is also just one of the wildest reports I've ever seen, that somebody said that they took their uncle's ATF jacket and went into the crime scene, didn't see anybody that was stabbed, only saw people that were double tapped, which means you were shot twice consecutively quickly. And it looked like somebody deer hunted in that apartment.
Boise, Idaho.
In Boise?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And you said that's your parents' place. What are your folks' name? Is there a home phone at that house?
Yeah.
What is it?
You want it?
So.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's like I don't know how often they use it, but
I just wondered.
I think it's like a...
So you said.
Yeah.
What was the last four?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you just drove home today?
Yeah, it just seemed like everyone else in my house in the Lottery community was leaving, and I do live right down the road, so it kind of seems unsettling being around. Yeah.
No, I get it. Do you have a roommate or anything?
No, I live by myself.
Gotcha. Well, I'm guessing that one of the folks that is working the case, or like a detective or something, will probably want to have a conversation with you. Is that something you're down with doing?
Yeah, I'd love to help if I can help anyway.
Okay. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
The phone number can work. Call or text, whatever.
Your cell phone? Okay. How long are you going to be at your parents' house?
I mean, just until we figure out what's going on with school. I mean, just Thanksgiving break, and once classes are, once we figure out what's going on with classes, come back and.
So you're because there's still school left before Thanksgiving break, right?
Yeah, but I have a lot of classes that I just don't need to be currently there for.
Okay, so you're not planning on being in class?
Yeah, I just have stuff I can do on the computer.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll pass on your information. I appreciate you reaching out, and we'll have a detective get a hold of you and try to figure out a time to take a statement from you.
Okay, I appreciate you a ton.
All right, take care. Thanks.
You have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, I don't want to get a copyright from Morgan Wallen, so I got to turn that off, which is just ridiculous. If you've ever posted a video, the copyright infringements on YouTube are very like Nazi-esque. Now, this is very interesting. I was going through the photos again last night, and I saw this picture, and I zoomed in, and I'm like, okay, I get all these faces are blurred out, but why right here? Is that blurred out for the reason I think it's blurred out? I mean, that would just be probably way too convenient of a camera location, and it would just make way too much sense that another person. Oh, you think it's a house number that's blurred out? That's odd. They don't. I don't see why they'd blur out a house number when they're releasing the names of security footage and their addresses. I guess it could be a house number, but I also don't think it's a stretch to think that it could be a camera. That's a good question. Does anybody know if the parents saw the crime scene? Does anybody know if the parents went into the house actually? And I'll get to some of the other super chats right now too. Thank you, Tiffany Nicola. Amanda J says, "Hey, Birdie, mods, and Hive. Birdie, you're raising excellent points." Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. Truth Brigade says, "I still want to know who Adam is and the everything Maddie told him." Hive, I'll let you guys type that out because there's a lot. Like, I feel like the Adam is confirmed. I mean, does anybody have any ideas on what the everything is that Maddie told him? And Truth Brigade, I hope you're still in here. Because I do think that conversation is just written off. That all that footage where the truck pulls by, a diesel truck, might I add, pulls by. And Taylor Hawkinson says, "Did you see/hear about the cop at the grub truck?" Yes. And there's a lot of stuff in that grub truck footage too. We need to pick a night and do a live dig on that again. It's just such a long series of such a long stream. Was it almost 4 hours of it? But thank you, Taylor. And Carrie, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate all of those. Yeah, that could be probably at the autopsy, maybe, or before they do it at the morgue. Uh-oh, what rule did Sherlock break? Oh, I can't find it. Can somebody explain this better, Miss Anonymous? Because I've seen all that. There's people in the trees. Can somebody explain why Dylan would say someone was in the trees? And for the 24/7 off stream headquarters, join our Discord. That link is right here in my YouTube channel. I will pull it up quick so you guys can see it. That is by far the best way, next to pressing subscribe, to support the stream. So here's the channel. Click this more button right here, and all of my links pop up. I'd appreciate if you followed me on TikTok, Discord, Substack, Facebook, whatever you use, Instagram. The Instagram and Facebook are newer, so I would appreciate if you guys do use those. Go press that button. The Discord's where I pulled the Hive Mind finds from. And then on birdieBombshell.com, got some exciting merch updates. Again, I feel like I've been talking about the merch a lot, and it's been taking longer than I wanted it to, but there are members of the Hive who are going to be helping me out with that. So thank you to those people. I can tell you that we're going to be working hard on that. So that is how you join it. Now, Hive, for the tinfoil hat conspiracy of the day, does this make Starbucks marketing geniuses, or is this a straight up scam? I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
You are not going to believe this.
Okay. What are you going to do?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Look how high that is.
Yeah.
All the way to the top.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this.
Okay. Pouring it into the middle. I don't get it.
What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. You're just pouring coffee into a medium-sized cup from a small cup.
Small to medium. What if I told you the small goes all the way to... So that's the big lesson that you've learned today. Get the small, call it a tall, call it a day, save a bunch of money.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more time. Put that into the small.
You want to do this?
No, you do it.
Here it goes. And I'll do it really quickly. Really quickly. Boom, 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 boom. And that right there, if you don't get it yet, if you haven't learned your lesson, that is the exclamation mark, right?
That's crazy to me. So I think it's a scam, not marketing genius. And I think they should disclose that nonetheless. But Hive, I hope that you all enjoyed this stream. The morning chats are always nice, a little bit smaller of a crew in here. So I appreciate everybody that did tune in. Remember, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I'm going to be in the live chat with you all, premiering the some of the stuff that I had found in the 4chan archives. I will give you all a sneak peek here, if I can find it. There we go. Let me pull it on up, because some of these are pretty wild. I mean, just even things like there's a, you know, a picture of the Pi Beta Phi. I've never seen that photo before. There is this, I thought this was hilarious. Whoever made, you know, this edit. I got some stuff about Kopaka that's in here, people that have apparently served in the unit. But whoever made this, I mean, dude, did you guys know that like Hex was running ads on 4chan on these threads? It's wild. Are you a fellow cheesehead, Ginger Peoples? And then we got a connection map that I'm excited to show everybody, and we'll be going through a lot of them. There was one that I wanted to see though, real quick, and I'm gonna put this down for a second, just because I don't want to give them all away. But there's one that I want to show you guys. And it's this photo here. Is this legit? And is this from the King Roadhouse? Can you all dig on this? Because I didn't want to put this one in the video and not have more context for it. But I was going to try to go through the photos and see, like, is there a mirror that lines up with that? I don't even know if that's the same house, but it was on the thread. People were talking about how, you know, it looks dark. It might be some sort of sealant, but depending on where it's at, I've never seen that photo. And then I started thinking, I'm like, I wonder if there's a mirror or a wall that does look like that somewhere in the house. But again, that's why I wanted to show you all that right now. You get to the live chat replay. So when you go to my channel, and I'll show you guys this quick. When you go to my channel, see right here, there's videos. I post a quick cut. That's just 30 minutes usually of every stream. But if you want to watch the full lives, you click live. You'll go to the video and then you'll see this right here, live chat replay. And then you'll want to turn it on to all messages available. And they'll pop like a future proves past and think mirror that didn't know that. And script. Tara, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that does tune in. That super chat is incredible. Thank you so much. And like I said, Hive, I look forward to these streams every day. And I will continue to put in the work to bring you all the best viewing experience. So by you guys sending those super chats and super stickers, I'm obviously, you know, not asking for it, but I don't ever plan on charging for the streams. I really want you all to know that I'm honored to be able to get up here and talk to the Hive every day, every night. And I really enjoy it, genuinely. So with that, folks, I hope that you all have an amazing weekend. I will see you in the live chat tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. I will have that premiere scheduled in a few hours. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.